and welcome back to the channel. Big welcome to the new subscribers, welcome on board, and thank you for watching. Today is a super exciting day. My excitement when a Touratech box comes in the post, or you know, there's something to get really excited about. I don't know if you know, but I've already fitted the Touratech skid plate to the Pan America because the standard one was pretty flimsy. So anyway, I've done a bunch of overtime at work and now treated myself to some more goodies from Touratech. So shall we see what is in the box today? So even Touratech's boxes are of the finest quality, heavy duty boxes. This has come from Germany, paid for with my own money, but you just know you're getting some really quality items when you order from that company. So here we go, what is in the box of magic? Firstly, I thought, well, I'm going to go on my travels. I am planning a road trip to Germany. It looks really appealing and I'll be camping and that sort of thing, but I thought I could really do with something on the front of the bike that I can just tuck my passport and my phone and my documents in. So I have bought one of Touratech's handlebar bags. Let's unwrap it. So there we go. That is, it's got a pocket in the front for your mobile phone. Super duper strong. Oh, nice zipped enclosure. Oh right, it's got like a hard base in it to stop it flopping around on your bars. I mean, I'm sure there's cheaper ones on Amazon and Temu and the like, but it probably lasts a season, but you know, for what I'm buying for the Pan America, I want this stuff to last. So yeah, two nice sized pockets. You get your phone and your passport, and there's a wallet at the top as well to put your phone in. Oh, that's really nice. So what else is in this box of excitement? A lovely set of Touratech's dropped foot pegs. It's their work series, so they've tried and tested these out on actual real motorcycles to see if it works. I've gone for the dropped pegs because I am riding with a lowered seat on the Pan America, and I find I'm just that little bit scrunched up on it now with my legs, and I can imagine over long distances that's going to get uncomfortable. So these actually drop your foot peg by 20 mil. Which should solve that issue for me. So finally, in this box of wonder is Touratech's hand protectors. I looked at Bark Busters, I looked at various different brands, but again, Touratech for me, they just win out. So this is the box that you get. Oh, look, I mean, it's just oozes quality. I know you pay more for this stuff, but even the box is lovely. So there we go, there's the very heavy duty looking in black powder coat handlebar protectors. So I bought those because the standard ones from Harley, they're okay. You know, I'm sure they will protect you from little bumps and scrapes, but I wouldn't want to drop the bike onto these because they're just literally clipping on the end and fairly flimsy plastic. And I fear if ever I'm like out in the middle of nowhere and the bike falls over and smashes a lever, that's me done. So these should give the bike that bit of protection for the day that I probably will drop it. So first things first, take the old handguards off. I'm using a T30 Torx and start whipping them off. It shouldn't take too much to get them off at all. So two fixings on the bars and then unclip off the front. As simple as that. Whoa. So that's it, the old handguards are off. It looks really strange without them. Anyway, no instructions in the box, which is a bit of a disappointment. I do like some paper instructions. However, if you go on Touratech's website, hit the product that you've ordered, and always at the bottom is an instruction manual on how to fit your bits. So here we go, we've got the manual. It's a 2-pager. It should be nice and straightforward. So I'm just going to have a quick read of that and get into it. So when embarking on any sort of job like this, I always like to lay everything out and see what I've got, make sure that there's nothing missing, because there's nothing worse than getting halfway through fitting something up and there's a nut missing or something like that. So always check that out, and you can ensure that you're going to have a fairly easy time fitting these things on. So first things first, figure out what side is what with the metalwork. That's pretty straightforward. And then it looks like it feeds through the slots in the plastic bracket and then assembles like that. So from what I can tell, the next bit is to fit this end piece on, which goes onto your bars. It's pretty obvious where that goes, and that will be your assembled bar. So the instructions are super vague. I've got all of those fixings. You've got to kind of guess at what goes where. But from what I can see, I think I've figured it out, so I will just show you that now. So I believe it's 2 locking nuts and 2 of these cap head Torx. So the instructions say just to fit those loosely, so that's what I've done. I've literally just allowed the threads to start into the nuts without locking them off. So just kind of wedged on there, so I don't know if you can see in there. There we go, so that is bracket on, loosely fitted. What I did forget to mention was the small, it almost looks like a self-tapping screw to hold the plastic in there. It's a T20 Torx, and I guess you can kind of tighten that up. I should just nip that up now. So before we can start fitting up all the other brackets for the kit, the old bar end has got to come out. So T45 Torx, straight in there. And I'm just going to take those off now. There we go. So time to fit the new bar end weight. We're into Allen keys now, so we are up to a 10mm Allen key. I think that's almost the biggest one in my posh new kit that I introduced last time on the channel. So I don't know how well you lot can see this, but I'm sorry, I've currently got it clamped into my bench vise. I haven't got any posh camera equipment. Anyway, right. I've studied the instructions and we're basically making this contraption that goes onto the bars. Now I built one up first because I wasn't sure what on earth I was looking at really, but I found in this diagram, again, that I was originally looking at, and hopefully I've got it right. So just follow it step by step is all I can say. So looking at the images, we've got a bracket and a bracket. Step 1, the small bolt that goes in through the top. Let's move that out of the way. That then houses that then houses, it's sort of like a curve washer, so I'm guessing the curve to the bottom, and then one of these lovely little dome nuts that's in the kit on top. So there we go, I'm just going to do it loosely for now. And step 2 is a dowel pin, which goes into there. Now I just had a bit of an issue with this one, trying to get it through because of some of the coating on the bracket. It was making it quite awkward to get through, so I'm just going to go off and just tap that in with a plastic hammer. There we go, the dowel pin is through the bracket, which then slides into there. That gives you the bracket. Simple as that. And then step 3 is clipping that into there. Step 4 is, from what I can tell, is the cap nut into there. This is what's going to clamp onto your bars. Again, with one of the beautiful little dome nuts. Again, I'm just going to loosely, because I've obviously got to put it on the bars. But I just want to make sure I've got no bits left over. You know how it is. So that's just in there. Then we zoom out of the diagram, which takes us up to the top of the bars. I can see that that is clamped on in that orientation. And then we've got to make this bracket go on there. Now, amongst the fixings, there's two sets of these you've got, but you've got two in the kit which are shorter and shinier. Is about the only way I can describe how to pick those out. So I've discovered that the shorter one goes into this housing. Again, I'm just loosely fitting it all. And there we go. That's that's the basic bracket. We've still got a few fixings, so that's for the bar end. That fixes into there. And then we've got that, and that, which holds the other end of the bracket into that fixing there. So let's get on and let's get these onto the bike. So here we are at the pointy end. They supply a nice little protective bit of plastic to pop around your bars. Like so. This clamps on around your bars. Okay, with a bit of a fiddle, they do. What am I doing wrong? Oh my goodness me. Ah, this is a bit of a fiddle. I'm probably making more of a meal of it than I need to. It's just because of the cables in the way. There we go. I got this the right way around. Oh my goodness. Let me go and look at the manual again. No, that was a lot more fiddly than I thought. I've ended up fitting the whole assembly to the bike because that's kind of the only way it was going to go on, because it was all just flopping around and it was a nightmare. But from what I can see, you fit the clamps pretty much to the bend on the bars. That appears to be where it wants to go. And then you can see you've got your swivel bracket here to adjust the angle. Let me take you around the other side. And then on the front, like I say, I've fitted this really loosely so I can just tweak it all up. There's the handguard onto the original bracket that I made up. This just needs tightening down now. I've tightened it at the bar end. Pretty much level with the levers, I think is going to be about right. Correct me if I'm wrong. So what I'm going to do now is I think some of those fixings would benefit from a little bit of Loctite going on. I don't want stuff rattling loose. So I'm just going to crack on and get the other side fitted. But I hope that has been of some help for you. I've also managed to drop one of these dome nuts down there somewhere. So I'm hoping I can retrieve that. It didn't hit the floor, so it's in the bike somewhere. Nightmare. Anyway, I'm going to tighten this up with a bit of Loctite and then, like I say, do the other side and then we'll see how it looks. So there we go. What advice do I give on these? Bolt them all on loosely, super loosely. And then that just aids getting them in the right place. The biggest faff, I think, is the handlebar brackets, getting those in the correct position. But once you have, they just fit really nicely, and those are absolutely rock solid. I've also done a trial fit of the bag while we're looking at this end. And right, I'm going to try and crack on now and get the foot pegs on. So, Helper Cat is back, as you can see, being super helpful. Hi, Helper Cat. These pegs that you really, really like. Oh, do you like those? Yeah. Really nice, ever so strong and robust. Yeah, they're looking really like they're going to do the job. Quite nice and slimline as well for adventure pegs. Just with the Touratech branding, just in them there. Very nice. And then it comes with a, again, fitting kit. It looks like some nice strong springs and some spacers. That's not food. And yeah, let's have a go at fitting these. Okay, the Harley Davidson foot peg conundrum. I've just got out my set of picks. Sorry for the rustling. I'm hoping these do the job. Right, the Harley Davidson Pan America foot peg conundrum. Now, I don't know whether you can see this on screen, but there's the tiniest little push tab for removing the foot peg pin. Now somehow you've got to keep that depressed to get it through, and it works on kind of like a click system, and by all accounts it's a bit of a faff to get out, so I believe you should be able to get it through the first bit, feed it past the spring, and then you have to push it in again to get the peg entirely off. So I'm just going to have a go at doing that and see how it goes.
A few moments later.
Okay, what an absolutely hideous design that is, so I'll just show you. There's just the tiniest little push pin there that pushes in, but the nature of where it catches, it just catches on the spring as you're pulling it out and all that. It's designed just to push fitting is going to be super easy. Getting it out, that's a whole different matter. What a dreadful design that is. Sorry, Harley. So I'm not sure if Touratech came across this issue themselves, because they've created an insert sleeve that goes up inside the spring. Now for me, I reckon if ever I've got to get these off again, it's going to totally eliminate that horrible clip catching on its way up, because it's got nothing to catch on now. It's just got a nice smooth tube to run in. Why didn't Harley think of doing that themselves? It would have made life a lot easier getting the old foot pegs off. But, you know, maybe they just wanted to take it to the dealership and get it done there. I don't know. Who am I to say? Right, foot peg. Let's get this on. And there we go. It's fitted as simple as that. Look at that. Lovely. As you can see, I'm being fully supervised today with the fitting of these foot pegs. Oh, it's not a scratchy post. Oh, where are you going to go? You on an adventure? Right, onto the other foot peg now. I've discovered, because I have got the, oh, it's really dark in here. Let's put a torch on for you. The exhaust guard is severely in the way of getting the other one out, so I'm just going to nip that off, get it up out the way, and then I can get the other foot peg off, hopefully. Okay, there's the exhaust bar. Cable tied up out the way, and luckily that horrible pin is just on the top there. You can just about see it, so I'm going to wriggle that out now and get the other peg on. Right, I'm really sorry, we are on literally the dark side of the garage. I'm hoping this camera will put up with that. Right, so second peg in, springs in, and collar is in. Oh, I need the pussycat to hold the torch for me. Pin in. There we go. Little tap, just help it through. I know you shouldn't use your socket drivers for a hammer, but in this case, that's all that was to hand. And there we go, that's on and isn't going anywhere. That's locked in place. So there we go, second peg is on. All that's left to do is just put the exhaust bar back on, and then I think that's all the jobs for today. So there we go, that's it for today. The pegs are on, the guards are on, the bag is on, I would rate fitting the handguards ease about a 6 out of 10. It's a bit of a faff, it's not difficult. Just be a bit patient with setting them up. Ow! Ah! Oh. And for the pegs, I would recommend a set of picks. Ow! A set of cheap picks. It just helps push that little tab in and be able to feed it up. And then obviously, you know, Touratech's inner sleeves are just going to cure that issue completely. So that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Ow! It's picks. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give it a like, and stick around for more uploads. There's more and more coming this year, so stay tuned. Until then, I will see you in the next one.